Okay, I guess we're live. Are we? Yeah, I guess we are. Yeah, hello everybody. Welcome to our ASO Myth webinar today. So let me start with some introduction. We are here today to discuss the most popular topics, the most popular myths about ASO in 2026. My name is Ilya. I am started working with ASO like 11 years ago, and now I'm the product manager here in AppFollow. And there are three amazing people with me, ASO experts. So let's take a round of applause for them and let them introduce themselves. Who wanna
So
start? Catherine.
I think I'll go first. My name is Catherine. I'm head of ASO at My Games. Um, around 10 years, I'm digging into ASO, building teams, making ASO audits, and so on. And I guess while there are rumors that ASO is dying, um, I'm still implementing something new into ASO analysis together with the team I'm working. So I hope that every ASO specialist have the same passion for their profession as I do.
I can go second, just according to the slide. My name is Marina Roglic. I literally stumbled into mobile gaming in 2018 and haven't moved since. With a short stint in 2024, did a couple of different types of apps, from finance to wellness and so on. I came back in gaming in Tap Nation in 2025, and now I'm here to hopefully share some of the wisdom that I've collected over the years.
Hi everyone, I go next. I'm Jimmy. I'm an app marketing manager working at Tokaboka. I work on app store optimization and user acquisition strategies. I bridge marketing and product teams with the platforms such as Apple and Google. I mainly work on an app called Tokaboka World with 60 million active users per month. It's been more than a year now, and I previously worked at Apple as App Store editor in the Nordics, France, and Benelux. And I'll hand it back to Ilya.
Yeah, thank you very much. So before we start, yeah, I would like to say that in the end of April, we will participate in the London event in the business of apps. So if you going to London, please feel free to sign up for our side event and join us in the bar quiz. So to spend this time with us and with Revenue Cat, Customer.io, Yodel Mobile, and other companies. So yeah, so for today we have lots of topics, and I would start with the most like valuable one is that uh, uh, I want to challenge some ideas that sound safe, but they quietly kills your growth. I would say it this way. And when I was designing this session, I felt that this conversation probably will feel a little bit uncomfortable for you, but if it does, then we are probably in the right place because we just want to uh, challenge all these ideas and get a better judgment on ASO, on all these myths and everything that is happening with organic promotion in the stores. So we are going to like test 5 ideas that they sound smart. They got repeated all the time on all the meetings, but still they could possibly lead the teams into the wrong direction. So I would like to start with an excuse that probably it's probably does the most damage for us as a ASO expert, as a ASO teams, as a organic acquisition teams, and for other people that is working with traffic in the store. And this number one is that, like, the moment you see the charts going down, the first idea that comes to my mind, that comes to, I believe, all people's mind, is like a algorithm changed. That's the easiest explanation for everything that happens with our store, with our metrics in the stores. So sometimes it's true. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes algorithm changed. And we noticed like last year that App Store algorithm changed twice, but that happens not often. And most of the time, I believe this is like a kind of shortcut that stops us from real analysis, from real understanding, like what's going on. And I would say that my take here that most teams, like, they blame algorithm when they run out of explanation of what's happened. So, Catherine, let's start. What do you think? What is your experience with algorithms or non-algorithms changes? Like, let's discuss with the first one. I believe one of the most popular means we have for ASO.
Yeah, I would like to start with the thought that actually algorithm is changing constantly, but it's the reality of the ASO, and we need to get used to it and just not blame algorithm everywhere. Instead of that, I suppose we need to make a kind of a checklist. What we need to check first when we see some changes in conversion rate, in amount of installs, or anything unusual that happens with the statistics of our efforts. And firstly, I suggest to make data-driven decisions. What if we about my checklist, I would say first it would be um, changes in some sources. Check if there are any changes in some sources, like something happened with the paid traffic, something happened with the keywords and search traffic, something happened with the collections, with the featurings, and so it's explore or browse traffic, depending on the platform. But also, I think we need to pay attention to the market and also see if there is anything unusual on the market as well. Like some competitors like boosted their paid traffic, or there is some new and powerful app that appeared on in your category, because that actually also influences the data we have of the our positions on any keyword we use and so on. So I guess that's the first thing you need to do to just check your sources of traffic. Is there any changes, and if is there any significant events that influenced it, and then the competitors and the market itself, because maybe someone changed the category and everyone and the algorithms just started to count you differently and to show you differently to the people. I guess that's the main point that I suggest to check before blaming an algorithm. So just look at your efforts, look at some things that happen on the side, and then decide whether algorithm is changing at all, or
Yeah.
something other happened.
Yeah, I like that. I'm a big fan of metrics and analytics, so I completely agree with this point. So Marina, you have anything to add?
Yeah, actually, first of all, Catherine used up all my arguments on the subject of whether the algorithm changes can be blamed for anything happening on keywords side. The something that I mentioned a few days ago was a post on LinkedIn, and Nicole Weiss, which I very, very, very like massively respect, said something that I've couldn't put into words until now, but nobody's treating ASO like its own channel. Everybody says that ASO is just something nice to like have or like slap around, when in reality ASO is literally the bottom of the funnel, and nobody's treating it as a channel. So we have our own we have our own sources of truth, we have our own numbers, we have our own analytics. uh Check everything that is in your power, even if you see something. By the way, I haven't, like, ever since the first massive algorithm change happened, the people started reporting, oh, this is going down or whatever. I haven't. Tap Nation has a list of titles that are from going from very successful to very moderately successful. None of them I've seen this those changes on any of them. So basically, check if all your ducks are in a row before you blame it on the poltergeist of mobile, basically.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Thank you. And Jimmy, I guess you also have some insights on that?
Yeah, I agree with all of my colleagues, and especially with Catherine, who said that the algorithm is constantly changing. And yes, sometimes it's bigger changes, sometimes it's smaller changes. But I think the most important thing is, yes, it has changed, but what are you going to do about it? And how did it impact your performance? Like, is it like visibility? You have less impressions, then what are you going to do about it? Or is it conversion? And then what are you going to do about it to increase the conversion? So blaming the algorithm, I think, it's most likely a scapegoat. But the important thing is to act on it.
Yeah, that's a really, really nice option. Just one clarification, like, let's say I woke up today and saw that like my downloads dropped. Like, what is my first action? What is the metric should I check, and where?
I think if your downloads have dropped, you have to see where the reason is. Is it because you have a lower conversion rate, or is it just because you have lower impressions? As Catherine said, maybe you got removed from collections on the editorial part of it, and this could explain it, and there's not much you can do about it. But if it's, conversion, then you have to analyze what's wrong now. Like, is it your keywords that are not ranking anymore because one of the competitor has increased the bidding on one of your main keywords, or is it because your creative assets don't convert as much anymore? There can be multiple explanations, and the important thing is to react and to do something about it, and not only blame on it and do nothing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I need to write on my paper on my wall. Just do something, and don't just blame the algorithm. Okay, so yeah,
May I add a little bit?
sure, yeah.
I would like to like add a little bit to what Jimmy said, because I think we first need to see which source has dropped, which exactly downloads dropped, and then go to like more specifics about keywords, creatives, conversion rates, and so on. So we need to check out what exactly happened, where it exactly happened. Thank you.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And like the first thing I would do, probably just to split data by countries, by channel, by other metrics, just to understand where is the problem specifically. Not just, okay, downloads dropped, but maybe, yes, you said maybe I was removed from one of the collections and browse download drops. Okay, can I do something with that? Okay, I can send like dozen more promo requests. Maybe that will help. Okay, yeah, thank you so much, all of you, for your inputs. And so I would say, as a summary for that, probably the problem here is not a kind of not only about diagnostics. So, and the solution here is, first of all, to understand what happened specifically. Like, is it search? Is it browse? What channel? What happened? Check keywords. So a lot of analytics required. And only after everything is done is a very last step, is actually check Twitter or other social networks to check, is anybody else complaining about that? So then, is it you, or like, is it you or the whole world with this problem? So, and then we can decide on our next steps. But of course, yeah, just blaming algorithm won't lead you to thousands of downloads and revenue. So, okay, nice. So then we have another myth that is probably kind of connected with the first one, as we know that SEO changing like all the time. SEO is also dying for the last whatever 20 years. And now people saying same about ASO. And honestly, when I started doing ASO, like, I would say in 2015, nobody knew about ASO, what's that and how it works. So basically everybody calls this, oh, it's just SEO for apps. So you're just working on the search visibility and that's it. And mostly it was the case. So back then we didn't have a lot of opportunities to promote our apps. We didn't have a lot of insights, a lot of like ASO tools or some kind of learning sessions. So we had to try everything on our own. And I used to explain people, like, actually what was I doing? Like, okay, I'm doing SEO for apps, but now I believe it's like, okay, it's useful shortcut for beginners, or you to explain your grandma what you are doing. But it's probably dangerous shortcut for everybody else, as ASO is not just about search visibility. So let's discuss this one. Why it's dangerous to call ASO just SEO for apps. So Jimmy, what are your inputs here? Let's share with us.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think it's a really shortcut for beginners, because both involve search. But however, I have to say that the mechanics and the logic behind the search is a bit different. So first, I'd say that SEO and ASO have different objectives. In SEO, your main objective is to have clicks and to have volume in the clicks, while ASO, the click itself is nice, but it's not the main metric that you track. It's the one after, when they click on download, and this one is the one that we consider very important, because it's like having a shop. Your shop can look nice, but if nobody enters, if nobody downloads, then it's pointless. Um, so yeah, and in SEO also, if you have high traffic, it means that you're gonna get a high ranking. But in ASO, if you have a lot of traffic but nobody downloads, it's actually pretty negative for your performance and your rankings, because it means that the search that people didn't reap any fruits. So you're not, the algorithm is gonna say that this keyword that they used wasn't relevant for your app. And if it's not the truth, then you don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
And also, I think that SEO also has basically unlimited space. You can say as much as you want. You can add as many things as you need. That's why when you look for, I don't know, cooking recipes, you end up learning about the person's family and childhood and background, but you only want to know about the recipe. While for ASO, you only have, on Apple, you have 160 characters with the title, subtitle, and keyword fields. well, you don't really have time to talk about your family. And also, I think the last thing is basically the time. So ASO, I think, is a bit faster than SEO. You know, for SEO, you need to be indexed. You need to wait for, the SEO algorithm to do its magic. While for ASO, if you have a surge in downloads, I hope you get it, and you will see it in the charts in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, and if I may add, there are a few things that ASO has that SEO doesn't have. So in ASO, we do a lot of product page optimization. So you're managing a store, and you can optimize the storefronts, but you can always basically renovate your storefront to see which one works the best. You can also have custom product pages or store listings, depending on which platform you use. And it basically allows you to pair your creative assets to any performance marketing you make, which leads to usually higher conversion rates from impression to download and a lower user acquisition cost. And last, SEO don't really take into account customer feedback. As long as you have high traffic, it's good. But even if your website is bad, it's not going to impact your SEO performance. While for ASO, it takes into consideration the user feedback in forms of ratings and reviews. So if you have bad ratings and reviews, it's going to tank your ASO performance as well. So I think, I hope I've debunked this myth. And if my colleagues want to add extra information, then please go ahead.
I guess I can proceed, and I want to add a little bit, maybe even off topic a thought, but I think in an ideal world, ASO and CEO should work together, actually, because it could help to bring more downloads to several categories of apps. And while in CEO, we can speak about websites and buttons on the websites and some images even, yeah, like building a complex SEO strategy, we can support it in the app stores, so people see the same funnel, and also like work with culturization and offer on the both platforms, on the website and in the store, the same like cultural context for the different peoples. And as a lead who worked actually together with ASO and CEO, I is several ways to work together and form like organic funnel that leads from the website to the app store and then to download.
Yeah, I see that this web to app funnel is becoming more and more popular, as we have quite limited options to promote our apps in App Store and Google Play. Of course, we have paid options, but who wants to pay for promotion? Nobody, I guess. So that's why, yeah, we have to use other options like web to app funnels. And from what I heard from you is that, I don't know if SEO people will be happy to hear that, but it seems that ASO is much more complex and complicated than SEO, because you basically have to manage everything at the same time: your visibility, your conversion rates, your ratings, your how your app is displayed in the store, your like videos, whatever. So all together. So that is much more complicated. And if you treat, okay, I think it's okay to explain your what you're doing to people who are not really like inside the industry, that okay, I'm doing SEO for apps, just a quick explanation to get the idea. But in your internal understanding, it shouldn't be like that. That's the probably my like takeaway from here. So because if you simplify ASO too much, you basically ends up with challenging the visibility, and that's it. So but visibility alone won't bring downloads, because you need conversion rate, you need screenshots, you need ratings, you need everything. And just chasing like a number of keywords, that won't work, because users won't download that your app, and you basically will lose all the rankings, just because your conversion rate is too low. Especially that's for search ads, for paid acquisition and so on. So yeah, before we move to the next topic, Catherine, you have anything else to add?
Yeah, I have something to add in the defense of SEO people. You know, I think it's not fair to think that SEO is just about the keywords as well. Because when SEO works with web pages, they work with images and buttons and appeals as well. And that matters in the conversion rate. Maybe they don't look to the conversion rate so deeply, like we have to do it in ASO, but it's still quite a complex and important work they do. It's not about keywords itself, but also about how the website
Yeah.
functions, I guess. So let's not make less credit to the SEO people as well, because we don't like either when they say ASO is something like side off.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, thank you for that note. I'm just saying, yeah, at least SEO people don't need to make screenshots, videos, care about ratings and everything. But I see the comment in the chat that SEO adjusting to LLMs and AI assistants, and that's also true. That you also have a lot of work, but that kind of a little bit different work. So coming back to our topic, that like ASO is not only about keywords, like SEO maybe, but we have another myth here. And actually, I was thinking about that myth in the very beginning of my ASO journey. I would say that I try to reach as many keywords as possible. I try to increase my visibility with adding all the possible keywords that I can even imagine. And it's actually easy, because I can show my manager, my boss, that looks, my number of ranked keywords is growing, but I can skip the question like why it don't bring downloads. But I can say, okay, number of keywords growing, I'm doing my job very well. So basically the question we have here, is it okay to have as your target metric as a number of keywords, or is it okay to try to get visibility for as many keywords as possible? Like a pretty common topics. So Marina, you have anything on that?
Boy, do I.
Let's
Uh,
go.
Tying up to the topic of, is ASO SEO for apps, and we're coming to keywords.
We are.
And if there's any one of the people present who have done both, at any time in their career, they'll know the pain of like finding the right long tail keyword that will bring the people and conversions. La la. Um, there was a time I remember in one of the many forums that we're members of, people used to talk about, oh, how many keywords you're indexing for. And it's true that yeah, on one side, being indexed to so many search terms can mean that you're relevant for them. But if next to each word you see, I don't know, traffic being 5 or 0.5, so depending on which tool you're using, and then you have like traffic share 0 or maybe less than 10, that's not good. And in that case, you stop and think to yourself, especially in this day and age when there's like a plethora of apps out there. Someone mentioned AI apps, and I don't think we'll have the brain power to touch about ASO for AI apps, but surely at some point idea for another event. So would it be useful for anybody, a newbie or a seasoned ASO professional, to use as many keywords as they can for their titles on iOS? And we know that we're pretty much limited. We have the I don't know, depending on the length, 4 to 5 keywords in title, same in subtitle, and however combinations you can make from 100 characters in keyword field. And then on Google, you have at least, I know one person in attendance will say, oh, 5 to 3 repetitions per first paragraph, last paragraph, beginning of sentence, and so on and so forth. I in the last couple of years, something that I've noticed is that repetitions don't seem to matter that much, not at least not for me. But definitely stick to the ones that are relevant. For bigger titles, you can check them every 2 weeks and change them. On Google Play especially, this would be easy. On iOS, as quick as you can, depending on release roadmap. But stick to, like I said, always stick to relevance. If you're not sure about relevance and your risk appetite is, say, moderate, absolutely give it a chance, see what's going to happen. But it's good. Another thing that I have to point out is the bloodthirsty focus on keywords is also not healthy, because keywords are not the only thing that brings us people to convert. So keep a good eye, keep an attentive eye on your keywords. See if there's any traction that they're bringing, any traffic share. See if you're getting any ranks. Don't get hung over on ranks. See if your most important ones, like the title, the subtitle keywords, the short description keywords, are getting you in the top 10, maybe. That would be good enough. Top 5, please raise your hands. Let me shake your hand. Like, that would be amazing, especially in this market today. But on the other hand, like I said, rank doesn't add value. The amount of people that click on you with that rank values more, because those are the people that play your game. Those are the people that get monetized off your game, and eventually money in the wallet. Let's not kid ourselves. So in the way I see keywords is that for better ASO, it's good to have a very nicely packed pool of keywords that you would be optimizing around. And eventually, when you see a keyword that is something that I've tried in the past and it's worth testing, but don't take my word for it. Obviously, you need to test for yourselves as well. You run a keyword. We're not talking title keywords now. We're talking anything in description or like short description. Run a keyword, see if it sticks. If it sticks for a decent amount of time, let's say a quarter, maybe 2, around the same position, try to remove it, add something else, see what's going to happen. If the previous keyword that was obviously significantly relevant, starts to drop, bring it back. There's no need to push anything unnecessary there. What was I gonna say? Regarding herding, if I've seen any cases where if I removed keywords or like if I added keywords, they did something to performance. I've noticed that when I would remove bad keywords, they didn't come back. But eventually, I've returned some keywords and I've seen improvement. That was, say, if I added a keyword early in the title's life cycle, they weren't doing much. Further down the line, I would add them, and there was some change. Let's not forget, ASO, much like anything else in marketing, what's testing. Something gets tested with A/B test, and you're safe. Other things want concept proofing, so you run it 100%, and you keep a watchful eye, and eventually, either you're right or you're wrong, and you move on. But learnings should not be forgotten.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And when you said like you need to test your let's say Google Play description with different keywords, probably I have kind of traumatic experience with Google Play, because every time you change, even like even if you add or remove the comma or dot, everything is broken. Like the next day, your traffic is going like down to the zero.
Was this
Uh,
in recent years?
no,
don't
that's like probably that's kind of my very very old
Okay,
experience,
I've
and
heard.
I'm just got this experience once, and that affects further decisions. But probably that's as you said, that's the topic for another session together with AI apps.
Yeah.
Okay, Catherine, you have anything to add here?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that's dropping drop of downloads after you change your commas. That's not true anymore. So don't worry.
Yes.
And yeah, it's kind of, and I think actually, if we are getting back to the myth of about more keywords, more growth. I will suggest here a data-driven decision, make a data-driven decision, and we have algo for this. When you change your keywords, when you add any keywords, you um, take your amount of impressions as a control metric, and then you take your amount of installs and conversion rate as as a control metric. So
Okay.
the number of impressions should grow, and the number of and the conversion should not drop at the same time. If you see that the drop of the conversion rate, that means that something is wrong with your keywords actually after you change the keywords. And here I need to stop and to say that you need to make one change at a time. If you changed your keywords, you cannot change your icon or screenshots or something else. So to actually measure the result, you need to change like keywords and then measure the results. And
Yeah.
if your impressions have grown and your conversion rate didn't drop, it's a win-win situation, and you have like a very good bunch of keywords working for your app. It doesn't mean that you cannot improve it even more, but it gives you some result that could be shared with the business or with your manager or whoever you want to tell about. But the amount of the keywords itself, it's not like really the metrics you should focus on.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. And but it's so simple to showcase your like your work results with a chart of growing chart of the number of ranked keywords. So okay, see, we are ranking for the 10,000 of keywords, but does it bring us downloads? That's the biggest question. So and yeah, you mentioned the graphics a little bit. So we are going to talk about the next myth in our schedule about the creative tests. So I remember that I like used to caught myself in the same trap when I see that like my impressions are stable, but like downloads are drawing like going down, I said, okay, let's test graphics, let's run icon tests, let's run lots of tests. And that's also kind of I used to work with apps, not games. I know all of you are from the gaming industry. I used to work in apps, and that seems like didn't work for me very well. So I wonder, like, is it creative testing? Is it kind of activity that just cool to make, or does it really works for you in games? Like Marina or Jimmy, like what you have on that topic?
If I may, I can start with
Sure.
this because it's one of my favorite topics. Creative testing doesn't solve everything. It can solve a lot, but again, not everything, because it's not the only facet of ASO. A lot of people think that when it comes to app store optimization, it only means the images, the nice pictures on the page. It's not, and vice versa when it comes to thinking that that will solve everything. It won't. However, um, something that I've noticed a lot of the people who came freshly into ASO um, do this thing where they just test blindly whatever falls to mind, whatever comes to mind. That is hurting our reputation as people, first of all, as employees, but it's also hurting their product, but it's also hurting everything else that is being impacted by this random testing. First of all, no hypothesis. Second of all, nothing in control of, like, you have your control, um and then there's no, like, you don't know what you're aiming for down the line. Basically, you don't collect any learnings. You don't know
Hmm.
where you're taking your product page. So you need to remember that, like I said, we're checking ratings, we're checking whatever positioning we're doing, how we're doing, what the audience is saying. All of this contributes to whether or not your your tests will do well or will do crap, if you pardon my French. In that sense, when you run a test and the test goes either way, how do you check what went wrong? Was it the messaging? Was it the hypothesis? Does it have to do anything with product? That's why something that I do, for example, whenever I plan my own tests, is I check with product and see if they're introducing something new, promoting something new that comes from the game on icon or on the first 1 to 3 screenshots has always been a significant win for me. The introduction alone, that doesn't mean it's an immediate win, but it does help. um like we've spoken about whether companies or teams overestimate the importance of screenshot tests versus whatever else because they're easy to test. In my opinion, icons are a lot easier to test because you can make whatever you want. That's also not good, though. And on a similar note, whether good creatives can fix or like help a weak products, in maybe in the beginning it will look like they are, but eventually people start talking and people check ratings. Not only that, like, ratings are the first thing you see after the icon, and if you see a
Hmm.
rating of 3 or less, you'll notice that, okay, they have beautiful icons and screenshots, but the game looks like it was made by 5-year-olds. I don't know,
Oh,
just
yes.
mimicking. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I have a follow-up question for Catherine and Jimmy. How how like actually I have two questions. The first one is, do you actually trust the data that you get in App Store and Google Play AB?
Not all the time. Sometimes, yes. But I think they at Apple and Google, they also know that the data cannot be that trustworthy. That's why they also add the confidence.
Hmm.
So it really depends. Sometimes it will show you negative, but it depends on what's your priority. If the new creative asset just make more sense for your brand perspective, then I think even though it's, it might say minus 0.1%, I think you should still adopt it because it aligns with your
Mm-hmm.
priorities.
Yeah.
So really, it depends. Yeah. What about you,
So,
Catherine?
We do the verification every time. So if A/B testing shows you like a double green result, we do verification after 2 weeks on the live data on 100% of audience, because 50% of people could vote for the option for the test sample, let's say, but when it comes to the 100% of audience, it may differ. And in my experience, like almost 30% of the double positive A/B testing rolled back to the previous option because they don't
mm.
show the growth on the actual data. So that's why, yeah, we do the verification every single time we apply anything to the store page.
Yeah, I remember I used to make like A/B testing, but when you actually set your original version, the same original version, and the new one, so just to make sure that the test is correct. But even after that, when you apply it live, you need to track the results because they can be completely different. So yeah, that's a limitation of the platform we have now. We have a really great question. Actually, I wanted to ask them as a second one. How often do we actually? How often do we do the creative testing, and how often do we should do creative testing?
all the
Like
time.
all the time.
Constantly, yeah, constantly.
But and I hope Catherine will agree with me. So first of all, if you see a test showing positive inclination, oh god, I'm losing my words, but if it looks promising for whatever reason, leave it
Mm,
to run for 7 days.
okay.
Even if you don't get the result you want in 7 days, let it run the full seasonality. I still believe firmly in seasonality. People who come on Mondays, on Wednesdays, and on Sundays behave differently. Let them all see what you have to offer. That's one thing. And something that I wanted to add, adding to trusting the analytics. I don't know if many others employ this method, but I do a BA test after a win, 7 days after a win, just to check.
Hmm.
Sometimes it proves to be
Hmm.
correct. There's not a big drop because I've seen a couple of questions, people asking whether even if they applied a win, they still see a drop afterwards. First of all, how did you declare that win? That would be something important. And by the way, don't rely to the chat or to the webinar today, because afterwards you can find us on LinkedIn. We can continue this chat there. Absolutely. Um, so first of all, you need to be honest with yourself. How did you declare this win? Second of all, have you, like we said before, up until now, do not trust the machine or the test to declare your win. Always double check it 7 days after. I gave 7 days because of how we iterate our own production line. So fast production, like hyper hybrid casual games can do more often. Casual games can do a lot less. So I think
Yes.
that, yeah.
Yeah, make total sense. We mentioned earlier in this discussion that probably the one of the biggest problem of creative testing is actually not having the strategy, not understanding what you are testing and what results you want to get. Because just let's add, I don't know, some AI sparkles on our screenshots, and let's hope it will increase our conversion rate. That's not really great hypothesis. So yeah, our take here is like, if you would like to test your creatives, first create the really nice list of hypotheses, like what exactly do you want to test? Will it work or not? And only after that, we can start working actually on testing with, of course, double verification, checking, and trusting only real numbers that you see when everything is live. And this actually leads us to our last myth about a strategy. So we discussed that we don't have strategy. Not the biggest problem is that we don't have strategy for screenshot testing when doing that. But do we have the strategy for ASO like at all? Because in most scenarios, ASO loses its power when like basically nobody owns it. So we just created the metadata, we created like the screenshot ones, we make some kind of launch work, and that's it. So then we forgot about that. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's updating the screenshots. Nobody tracking the keyboard performance. So, okay, I can see where it works. Like let's say you doing the Facebook app or Instagram app, then it's probably like it's fine just to make it when it launch. But even there, if you're adding some new cool features to your like your Facebook or Instagram app, it's a really good idea to add them on the screenshots at least. So so what is your opinion on that? When should we work on the like ASO only on the start, only on the like major releases, or constantly? I heard your opinion about the screenshot testing. It should be done like all the time. But what about everything else? Like our descriptions, our titles, our icons, like should we link our changes to the major releases, or should we try doing these iterations as often as we can? Like let's discuss this one.
I think we
Yeah.
need to get a Jimmy start because me and Marina are constantly speaking and he doesn't have a chance to spread the word.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Um, I would say that I speak for everyone when I say that this is definitely just a one-time setup. That's why we still have jobs. And next, as they also said, we you should do creative testing constantly, so that if you do it constantly, this is not a one-time setup. To see which performs best. The reason why you should do it constantly is that there's always way to improve your presence and to improve the conversion rates. But also, at the end of the day, it's a zero-sum game. So if you're not testing, somebody else is, and if they are winning, you're losing. So I don't know if you have the same audience with Marina and Tap Nation, but if she's doing good and if she's doing well, and then I don't test, then she's gaining more grounds as I lose ground. That's how it works. There's only one top one, there's only one top two, and there's only one top three. So that's why we should test constantly. In terms of copy, I'd say that for me, I try to update the Apple keywords from time to time. I try to do one per quarter just to see if there's any movement. And usually from the Apple side, I see that there is a hangover effect. So the ones I used to rank for, I see that I'm still ranking for it. So as a result, it tells me that I rank for a keyword, I can test a new keyword. On the Google side, I don't do it as often. Maybe I should. What do you guys think, Marina and Catherine?
May I, Marina? Okay. We actually speak a lot about screenshots, icons, and keywords, but we miss somehow the part of the promo content and in-app events, which are like very important nowadays. And it makes your explore and browse traffic more strong, I guess. And if you don't use the promo content in Google Play, I don't think there is actually any chance to thrive these years. It gives us a lot, and we also missed it somehow that it could be tested. It's not like the A/B testing, but it's pre-post, and you can see which items work on different cards, and which one your competitors use. And I guess it influences the conversion rate as well. And as events are like constant things in most of the apps, that makes also our work like not just a one-time setup. So you need to like do events at least once a month, but mostly even 2 or 3 or maybe more times a month. So it gives us a bunch of work to do, to analyze, to compare, to see the conversions, the countries, the culturization aspects, the localization aspects, and so on. So I guess that what I'm trying to say, it's so is growing, it's changing, but the thing that it should be done constantly and from week to week, from day to day, and from year to year, it stays the same. So this strategy isn't like moving anywhere. It needs to be done.
Yeah, nice. Thank you. That's a speech. I like it. Thank you so much. And Marina, you have
All
anything
I
to add?
can do is agree
Yeah.
with everybody. I always like to use the analogy with the car when people ask, "Oh, is it a one-time thing?" Like when you buy a car or whatever machine, and you have to run, say, 10,000 kilometers before you go for the first optimization, and after a while you need another optimization. Goes the same with any other product. And it's in the word itself, like it's in the name of itself. Like you don't it's not app store setup, it's app store optimization. And that's all I
Yeah.
want to say. Like I'm not gonna debate this anymore.
Yeah, that's a really nice. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so here are the top five myths that we had, and this is actually like all the discussions make a like boundary between doing ASO good and doing ASO great. So doing good is just okay. You edit the titles, you edit screenshots, you update them probably like once per year, and that's it. But if you want to do ASO great, and if you want to get results, you need to do it all the time, like because only by repeating it like every release or every week, you will get the numbers, you will get results. Based on these numbers and results, you can build your future hypothesis. To test your screenshots, don't forget to have your hypothesis before screenshot testing. And only after that, you will get all the necessary inputs to actually build a strategy to understand where you're going and not just randomizing keywords. So yeah, that was a really awesome discussion, and we can continue with a couple of questions from the chat. Let me open the Q&A session here. Yeah, we probably won't be able to cover all of them, but there are like 2 or 3 with the top upvotes. The first one is, which ASO tools can you rely on in 2026? How can we solve the problem with the 5 search as popularity? Yeah, that was a that was a big problem when Apple actually destroyed the search as popularity, and it's back somehow, but still like with lots of side problems. So for now, I believe that yeah, we have AppFollow, we have AppTweak, we have AppFigures, and probably dozens of other tools. And I would say that all of them are pretty much the same. It depends on what UI or what features you prefer more. So technically, I believe all the search results, all the popularity metrics are pretty much the same. just choose the one that you like better, like what is more convenient to you for daily usage. I would say, do you have any more comments on that, my great ASO team? Okay. Okay, nice. And the second one, we have sometimes we add high quality and better screenshots, but craft still goes downside. My experience on that is that high quality and better screenshots doesn't mean that you got the idea what your audience need. When I used to work in the, like, let's say airline tickets search company, we tested lots of creatives for the paid user acquisition. We tested, all these planes, palms, islands, vacation, all the beautiful screenshots with all the beautiful graphics and design. But what works the best? The best creative for the paid user acquisition, what was just a white square with a black text on it, like New York, 100 euros, like, I don't know, Brazil, 50 euros. So just a city and the price. And this creative has had the best conversion rate ever. So, like, first, in my opinion, of course, maybe you guys have another opinions on that. First, we need to test more, not just adding palm or adding the play into the screenshot, but actually test the completely different logic, completely different images. So to understand what works best for your audience. Because for me, okay, this screenshot is really nice. It has airplanes, it has palms, it tells you everything about vacation, but it doesn't work because probably users are way too overloaded with all these beautiful pictures and they need something different. So the goal for increase conversion rate in A/B test is to find something different, not something beautiful and high quality. So that's my opinion. I don't know. Do you have any other ideas for games? Uh,
Uh,
how does it work in games?
I would say it's not for games only, but I have actually a life hack how to test the screenshots.
Yes.
Sometimes screenshots are really beautiful but overcrowded and have so much noise. So my suggestion is to take your screenshots to think about what do you really want people to see on it, and then when it's ready, just turn it into black and white and see what they actually see. And
Mm,
you could be surprised because when you analyze your competitors, you can see that there is one or two significant things that are pinpointed on the screenshots, and you have like a lot of things, and one's eye doesn't catch what actually you're trying to say. So when you need to actually see what your audience will see on the screenshot,
mm,
just turn it
mm,
like negative or black and
mm.
white, and you'll see what they actually um,
Yeah,
capturing. So
that's
yes, that
a
could help.
yeah, that's a really nice life hack. Um, I never thought about this. Yeah, thank you so much. That's huge.
I have
Um,
used it. I have to add,
yeah,
I have used it
yeah,
and it has helped. So yes,
nice, nice.
definitely turn it negative, see what helps, see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, we are running out of time a little bit. So the last one, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. But regarding the repetition of keywords that does like on Google Play. So
That's my fault. So
yeah.
Matthew, um, I didn't say it doesn't matter, but you first of all, it says here that your Google Play listing is basically illegible because of you had to sacrifice coherence for density. Pull out everything that you're not like you're not 100% certain that is relevant for your listing. Rewrite it again. Definitely put it in the first paragraph because the first paragraph shows on web as a short description. when people see it, it jumps out to their eyes. They don't have to read it. I don't know if people actually read it, but they notice keywords. That's similar to, and I'm really sorry that we didn't get to cover the whole indexing from screenshots, but another time, surely. Definitely remove as many keywords as you want. Specifically for this case, remove as many keywords as you can. Rewrite it with 5 to 7 keywords with 5 repetitions maximum, but not for all of them. Give a couple give 5 repetitions to a couple, 3 to the rest, see what happens. Next month, do it the same thing with different ones if there's no effect, until you see an effect.
Thank you so much for that. Because I don't work with Google Play, and like it's some magic happenings there. Okay, it happens, but yeah, thank you so much for that input. Okay, seems like we are almost done here. We covered these 5 great myths today. I hope that was, at least for me, even for me, it was helpful. I knew some really cool stuff today. So thank you so much, everybody. And so what we got here as a biggest takeaway is to do the great ASO, we need to analyze a lot. So we need to be analytics to check our data, to check our numbers. Don't blame some third-party algorithms or whatever it could be. Just check the numbers, keep iterating more and more, and you will get your results. So that's basically the key. Just to keep working and getting your results. And so to finish our session, just one last thing, like very short, like from all of you, I would like to get like the one last piece of advice, like what is the one thing the audience should do after our session? What's your suggestions here? Who's going to start?
Go, Jimmy.
Jimmy?
You don't have the answer, I see. On the consoles, there is a possibility to see where you're positioned compared to your peers in the same category. If you don't know, I highly recommend you to check to see where you are. Preferably you are around the 75% percentile. If you're not, then you're not doing something right. So you should change.
Nice.
Moving back to the screenshots, if it doesn't work, then it means that you have done something wrong or you don't understand your audience. Going back to the plane example, yes, you have amazing planes, you have Bali, you have islands, but perhaps the audience is just interested in the good UX and the discounts. And, if that's what they want to see, then that's what you need to show.
Yeah. Understand your audience. So that's probably the key for all of us. Yeah. Who wants to be the next?
Okay, I'll go, but I'll be very short. So if I could just surmise it to a very short advice, keep an archive of all the learnings you've gathered throughout your work. So during testing, during research, during testing, during analysis, after analysis, just keep track of what everything has happened, and eventually you will see a picture of where you're going and if you're going in the right direction.
Yeah, nice. I used to have the spreadsheet with like years of my work. That was probably not the best option, but it works, so why not? Okay,
We
and
do too. Yeah, we do too. That's a really great advice from both Jimmy and Marina. We do that too, so I stick to it. And also, I'll advise to take every opportunity you get. There were a lot of discussion in the comments that promo content is not affordable to everyone, but I think you should do everything you can to be there. And as I am keen on analytics, I'll say that stick on data-driven decisions only. Every change you make must be backed up by metrics. And in ideal world, you should have the main metric and the control metric. The first one should grow, while the another one at least should remain the same, stable. So stick to the data-driven.
Yeah. Thank you. We started with metrics. We finishing the session with metrics. Metrics is the key. So track everything and you will get the success. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you so much, Marina, Catherine, and Jimmy, for being sharing the great insights on the stage. And see you on the next sessions. And have a nice rest of the day, morning, whatever you have in your time zone. And see you soon. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye bye.